Very good morning to you, Mr. Dom Morgan. Absolute pleasure
Nigel,
to be here.
thank you for coming.
We're in the Underdog Crew Studios here. This is an amazing, amazing place.
The new one?
Yeah.
Brand new one.
Yeah. This is just something special. Now you come in here, you've got signs all over the place. It's just, the models and everything else, the artifacts, just brings you in as soon as you come through the door. Absolutely amazing. And so let's talk about you and how you got into the movie game, what you've achieved so far.
Are you warm enough?
I'm warm enough, mate.
-1 degrees, look.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Look at that.
Bit of cinematics.
Yeah.
What do you think of this little cardboard box?
It's amazing, isn't it? Hummer.
That's a Hummer. It's all right. Well, it's a Skull Crusher V8. Yeah, so we like making props. It's a big kind of fake driving vehicle that we're building over a few months. And this is going to be green screen, rear projection. And it's just all trash. Cardboard boxes, yeah, everything. This is going to be a super realistic Jeep that we're going to be filming to look like a real vehicle driving.
Yeah.
And this is how we play, so every day in here is playtime.
Yeah.
Okay. And I forget sometimes I'm a professional filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because now we've been in here now, I think working every day for the last 6 weeks getting this ready.
Yeah.
Been open for 3 weeks. And we're just in here playing every day. Every day's a new day.
Yeah.
And we're working with some incredible kids that have had some terrible starts in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just playtime every day, whether it be.
Let's cover that.
Okay.
The sort of people you have in here, the stuff you do, from model making to cooking. Obviously, you do a fair bit of stuff, and I really want to cover this with autism,
okay,
and that sort of stuff, and the opportunities that you make, and bring people on, because this is what you call the underdog. Because, like when I was a young lad and everything else, I had issues and everything else, and I had to change schools and things like that. So yeah, I very much appreciate what you're doing, because you're always an underdog when you're in this realm, and you want to try and bring people out of being that.
All I've done, I've built something that I wished was here for me when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I was a naughty boy. I was taken out of school, because I was a naughty kid. I wasn't. I had autism back in the early 80s when autism wasn't such a thing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't handle the crowds. I couldn't handle the noise and things like that. And because of that, my life went in bad directions. I got into drugs, got into a bit of trouble. I call it my bad year, 17, 18, when I didn't care. I didn't care what happened, whether I lived or died. I was just on this self-destruction because I lost myself. Yeah. And I've found there's a pattern here with a lot of these autistic kids. I call them lost boys, lost girls, where the majority we work with are too autistic for mainstream school, not autistic enough for specialist school.
Yeah.
And it's a scary statistic, the amount of these kids there are. So they make up a large part of our members. Also, and I know the schools don't like to talk about it, but there are obviously still problems majorly with systematic bullying.
Yeah.
So a lot of these school refusers, it's not they don't want to go to school. They want to go to school and be left in peace.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of these kids that we're dealing with that had the most awful school experiences. Yeah. I'm an anti-bullying ambassador. Yeah. I was severely bullied at my boarding school. I was I won't go into details, but there was a compensation case a few years ago for historic abuse. I was one of the 6 kids from my school that was one of them. So
is that not the same one that Paul Connolly did? Is it?
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah.
I mean, I can say it was Elmbridge Boarding School.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was the same one.
No, it's
but it was. So obviously, you spend a lot of time angry.
Yeah.
And and I realise it's really simple. When you've got this happening, then you lose your self-worth. You get angry. You make bad choices.
Yeah.
So if there was somewhere like this when I was a kid, because we do a lot of mentorship as well.
Yeah.
Soft mentorship, and sometimes it's just having someone there to listen. these days, lives are so chaotic. Family breakdown. You don't have that traditional time where you sit down together as a family and talk stuff through.
Yeah.
Almost like the tribal elder system, like they have in the Asians and the Mediterranean, where you've got a grandparent that's always there. We don't tend to have that in our culture anymore.
No.
So there's a lack of guidance, and I think with what we do here, we provide kind of like a tribe, somewhere to belong. We've got the mentorship. We've got we encourage. Remember, I always say, what did you love when you were a kid? Go back to that before everything went wrong.
Yeah.
And everyone's got these ambitions and these creative wishes or whatever.
Yeah.
And we help it, you know. We've got critical intervention from child psychologists because some of our members have got, obviously, goes to the territory, some really bad self-harm issues, suicidal ideations. So even though we're youth workers, we're not specialists, but we've got two of the most incredible youth counsellors in our region that's part of our team as well, that can jump in as and when needed, rather than having to go through the hoops to get, you know, on waiting lists and all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely. I mean, so I still have counselling after nearly 5 years in May next year from being in a coma, PTSD from the follow-up, things like that, and I'm still getting it now. So I appreciate that it can take anything up to a year or whatever before you can get help. But if you can bring the help in as well, it makes such a difference.
You want to get on the pottery wheel with me? That's good therapy. I'm the same. I got PTSD. We lost our oldest daughter in 2010, which didn't help. PTSD from the school. This is my therapy. You know, so as much as we're every single thing that we do, every activity is therapeutic, whether it be the really simple things like drum circles and stuff like that. But when you're working clay, or when you're doing decoupage, or where you're working with the most basic papier-mâché, it's all very primal therapy.
Yeah,
and it's taking time. It's putting your phone away, stopping watching the clock. You know, that everything's therapy, and it's therapy for myself, for my wife still.
Yeah.
You know, I stopped the clock at 50. I'm 50 now. So we're always healing, and we're healing through helping others. So
yeah. That's a very important thing nowadays, isn't it? Because you've had experience, past experience, and now you want to feed that back in. And there's not a lot. There is a lot out there that, like yourself, that want to help people and everything else. You're doing it. You're proactive in it, and it's very, very important. So in the studios here, you've got so many different aspects. So that, you know, that people can get involved in. So, you know, you've got artifacts there that you will sell on, signs, skulls, that sort of thing. Amazing. And you build a lot of the stuff yourselves, yeah?
Yeah.
And that must be really, really inspiring for you.
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of whether there's much value to that kind of stuff or no, because we're going to do our first few Christmas markets soon.
Right, yeah.
But for us, as a CIC not-for-profit, anything we can find ways of bringing money in is absolutely vital to our short-term survival. So so we're always on the lookout for cool artifacts, and then we design them up ourselves. Like I showed you that skull earlier that I took a photo of.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We aged it. We made it look really decrepit. We put LED lights in there.
You must have used my face for that, I reckon.
And I think, you've lost me track now. You've got a gorgeous face, Nigel.
Thanks, yeah.
I think there is a lot going on. So obviously we're sitting in the barn studio now. So we've got our workshop to the right, our kitchen to the left, a couple of film sets down there. Then obviously when you see our music studio, that's going to blow your mind. And the film set upstairs is kind of like a modular shell.
And you set up beach scenes and everything here, haven't you?
Yeah, because we're part of a major part of what we do. We're shooting this kids' TV drama, a bit like Biker Grove, but our version called The Slip. And that's funded by England Community Trust, and it's a very it's risque. It's kind of 12A.
Yeah.
And it's about teenage girl growing up in modern Britain who's a carer for her alcoholic, drug addicted mother.
Right.
And it's about her journey into adulthood while having these really heavy responsibilities. So we're tackling all the real dramas that are going on. We're not hiding away from them.
No.
And we're trying to deal with these things honestly and sensitively, without patronising or kind of sugarcoating stuff.
Yeah.
And we're on episode 3 now.
Yeah.
We've already won 2 amazing awards for episode 1, where we got the best. I forget what they are. I've won too many awards, Nigel. But we've won 2 best TV pilot and best social film short film.
Yeah.
So, and then that's going to be released onto TV.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get onto at least Amazon Prime, Apple TV.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that can generate income slowly, trickle as well.
Now that's a very, for what I'm seeing here, you've got an amazing place. But everything has a price. Everything that you're doing, the building and everything else, you've got to run it. You need sponsorship.
Yeah. Grants are doing all right, but they're always hit and miss.
Yeah.
We're working with 2 specialist schools now, Bright Lives and Deucecroft.
Yeah.
And they pay us for weekly creative life skills sessions.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of our journey towards self-sufficiency. But equally, we're still reliant on a multitude of grants from the lottery that gave us our amazing minibus. So we can now pick people up, drop them off.
Yeah.
All about breaking down barriers to inclusivity.
Yeah.
Other little grants that we've got from Colchester Borough Homes, Anglian Community Trust that funds the Slip TV drama. We have hopefully got a big lottery one coming next year.
Right.
And our aim is to be totally self-sufficient within a year.
Yeah.
We've got an incredible project we're hoping to get off the ground next year, where it's a 6-month project where we're converting a shipping container into a tiny home, which is where Rich's expertise. It will show you his pictures of what he's done before.
Yeah.
Then we can actually, it becomes a 6-month life experience and work upskilling for teenagers that haven't got those skills.
Yeah.
Then we'll have a product at the end that we can sell.
Yeah.
That we can then, so that might actually really help us out, maybe doing 2 of them a year.
Yeah.
Whilst helping like 30 kids learn joinery, plumbing, electricals, and all manner of things as well to give them a route towards getting into a certain industry.
Yeah. That's a massive thing, isn't it? Because it's people are thinking, I want to do an apprentice or something like that. But you're giving them the opportunity to do that because of their nature and how they are. You're giving them that window to step into, which they wouldn't normally want to go in to a full to start with, and a full apprenticeship. And
it all starts with breaking down social anxiety. Everyone that comes to us, they have something in their lives, whether it be neurodiversity or family crisis, whatever, that makes them have a problem with confidence, anxiety, socializing. So the first thing we do, obviously, is break that down. And we always say to our members, find somewhere to put your slippers. Get yourselves comfortable. We won't push. Don't put any pressure on you. Chill out. Maybe make a friend or 2. Then once they're comfortable, it's like, what are you into? Yeah, and then we nurture that and we guide it and we encourage it. Yeah. And like I said, we've got a service menu of about 25 things, and we'll always find something they're into. And and it works. Yeah. You know, we don't put pressure on people. If you don't want to do anything, don't worry about it. Yeah. Some of them takes 2 or 3 times to even get out of the car to walk in. Yeah. And I'll go into the car and say hello. So I wouldn't come in here either if I were you. It's reverse psychology. Just take away, there's no pressure. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to have fun today? No, really? You don't want to have fun? I promise you come in here, pop in, have a look around, 5 minutes, and then go home when you're ready. And that's the process. And that's how we've got. I mean, some some of these kids, they haven't left their room, you know, and still suffering really badly from the COVID and lockdown. Yeah. You know, and they built these socialization walls. And they're huge problems. And it's just slowly encouraging them in. And, I don't know, it just works. And those sort of people that you're bringing out, actually, what you're doing is giving them the inspiration to come out. Join, like you said earlier, a bit of a tribe. You know, I'm there. Yeah. You know, it's a quest. It's, something for them to do. And the sort of stuff you're doing here is so vast. Then there must be, whatever the person's aims are or past or whatever, you've got something here that they can actually take part in. I've got a really intelligent thing that I'm going to forget and make myself sound stupid, right? People, teenagers, young adults, I call it the 5 little Asians, yeah? You need socialization, you need recreation, you need inspiration, you need exploration, and you need motivation.
Yeah.
And these are all the things that we try and do, and it all stems with taking that first step to be like, do you know what? There's something missing in my life. I want to be the best version of myself. And then it all starts with just taking that step. And sometimes that first step, there's so many stuff, every journey starts with the first step, whatever, but it's so true, and there's so much pressure. And I still say, like, now, how long ago was the light bulb invented? A couple 100 years ago?
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't got like 500,000 TikTok followers, you're nothing.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world, it's a very strange. I mean, I find it hard to understand as what am I, a boomer? Are we boomers? Are we? What's our generation? Generation Z, generation whatever. There's too many of them. I think we're boomers.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just an old boy now.
Well, we're not octogenarians yet, so we're somewhere in between.
We're not. We're still treading water.
But I think it's that thing of and this is where we were talking earlier about. There's so much problems in the world at the moment, and it's kind of everything's bred to make us anxious. And then, that's what, I mean, I suffer with panic attacks and anxiety. I've got it under control, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world,
It is, because people, if you go back to our parents, they were all, my parents were brought up in the war. Our grandparents, or their grandparents, were brought up during the war, sometimes the First World. And that's what they've experienced. We've come through the sort of 60s era, and that was the flower power and the mods and all that sort of stuff. And then obviously we started to really grow up in the 80s, boomers. It was a boom time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too bad then. Now, the whole world is ultra relying on each other to make it work. That's how I see it.
Seems to be so much division. I mean, I'm all about peace and love. I'm an aging hippie myself, I suppose. At the end of the day, I think everyone should concentrate on what unites us.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everyone seems to concentrate on what divides us.
Yeah.
And that's why here we're a tribe. It doesn't care what religion you come from, whether LGBTQ. We're all one tribe, and our members are fantastic. And I hate the word tolerance. It's not about tolerating. It's about embracing the individual.
Yeah.
And we've got an incredible group of just nice people. Our rule are pay it forward. And that's a big thing. So we have one member, maybe been with us a year, that was so nervous to start with. If there's a new member that seems like they're having problems settling in, they know they have to pay it forward. Bring them in a little bit,
Yeah.
And that's, I think, how community thrives. So all we're doing is we're creating this little microcosm creative community where everyone gets a shot at being their best selves.
Yeah. That's what you want. At the end of the day, if you're stepping into that world, and hopefully, like you say, it's been with you a year, started off very quiet, moved on a little bit, it goes into the next stage. That's an amazing thing, because at the end of the day, that's what you want.
We've got some amazing outcomes. I mean, and Jordan, they won't mind me saying this as an example. They came to us pretty much not knowing their family if they were going to survive and not kill themselves. Incredible, like self-harm, everything. Just started their first term at Southampton University after spending a year with us, and they'll tell you themselves and a lot of it, what it is, I'll tell you what, for example, if you meet someone that's got a really bad stutter, most of us, what we do is we look away and we kind of pretend and we don't mention it.
Or help them.
Yeah. And like with Jordan, the first thing I did, I made a joke. And I said, bloody hell, those old barrel organs like Thursford, and they got the knob on it, you put it through, and I said, bloody hell, you can play Greensleeves on that. And she was so surprised that I haven't hidden away, I haven't pretended or anything.
Yeah.
And we discussed it. And everything we do is open, honest communication.
Yeah.
We have what we call round the campfire talks, where everything's open. And that can be quite weird for people because, funny enough, open, honest discussion isn't the norm.
No.
And we all talk things through. And I've got the thing I always say, I can't give you advice. I can give you what's happened to me in similar circumstance, or anyone of our team that might have been through something before. And then I say, but look, if you really want help, then we've got our counsellors, Natalie and Amanda, you can speak to them.
Yeah.
And it's just sometimes people just want to be able to talk and to be listened to. And so everything that we're doing, we're always there and we're just listening. And they're letting off steam. Sometimes they might only want to just have a gaming session. But when you're gaming, you're socialising, you're chatting crap through and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. So these counsellors, are they like cognitive therapy, that sort of thing?
They both have very different routes into it and specialist subjects.
Yeah.
So one of them is heavily into the female, let's call it female crisis, some of the awful things that women go through.
Yeah.
And the other one is very much about cognitive therapy. And I mean, I don't really know about it. I just say, go and talk to them. Yeah, they know so much more than I do. Because advice is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm mindful to all our people. We don't give advice. We can give you our opinion and always saying, look, but don't take that as advice, blah, 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 blah. Another important thing we do is we really try and integrate their families into us.
Yeah.
So we have a thing called Canteen Club where the mums, normally they'll come and hang out, have brews. We have parent and child cooking sessions. Yeah. So it's all about nurturing the family and the shared experience.
Yeah.
Because yet again, these times, so many of the kids, they sit up in their bedroom eating their food. We don't sit around the table on a Sunday anymore, do we?
No.
So we do that here. We cook together, we eat together, we clear up together, we bring the parents in. So that's a huge thing about rebuilding that kind of tribal, that kind of just seems to be going.
And also brings the family back closer.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's an amazing thing, isn't it? I mean, all these things you do is very, very interesting. How many people could you take on at one time? Because you've got so many different aspects of what you're doing here. The cooking, the modelling, that sort of stuff.
This current space we've got is perfectly suited to 16 young adults at a time.
Okay, yeah.
And I say that because I was running the cooking workshop yesterday, and I had about 6 of them. Because I was doing a masterclass, everyone was watching.
So are you called Master Dom?
Master Dom.
Not Master Chef, Master Dom.
I will give you a little insight. I am called Swamp Man. My nickname is Swamp Man.
Yeah. Should we check your toes? Or?
Yeah, no, it's because I love that. Everyone knows I love bushcraft, fishing. I'm very 9 times out of 10 I'm barefoot. It's only because it's cold today. I love being out in nature, so just Swamp Man or Dombo. But the actor Jamie Chambers started that one.
Yeah.
So Dombo or Swamp Man. But yesterday was chaotic. You've got this group of neurodiverse teenagers loving these sessions, and it gets a bit like. It just gets crazy. So 16 people per session. We've got about 20 members of our own Underdog crew students or members. And the average, sometimes you might only have 4 or 5 on a weekend session.
So they are the regular.
Yeah. And we've had some quiet sessions, and I love those because that's where you get the real one-on-one, just to sit back, chill out, chat. Yeah, Laura will do one-on-one cooking sessions with a couple of them, which is really good life skills stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we're film set days, everyone wants to be here. And then it's just chaos. And Laura's catering for a film crew of about 30, 40 people. And, so every day is different.
I've seen some of those slides you've done. Yeah.
So, every day is beautiful and every day is different. And I love that. Yeah, and that's what keeps it fresh. And everyone knows they're not allowed to swear more than I do. We are totally anti-school. And it's kind of you're allowed to be yourself. Yeah. And if somebody comes in, had a bad day, and it's like, phew, that is system now, rather than get out. It's just and I think that's a problem. I always go back to schools. Don't get me wrong, there's some really good schools that deal with neurodiversity now. Yeah. But there are so many where, for example, and I've witnessed this a lot now. One of the major things of autism or Asperger's or ADHD is the inability to look someone in the eye. Yeah. So you get some of these quite old school teachers telling these kids, look me in the eye when you're talking to me. And they don't understand how painful that is. So a couple of them, I've taught them, if I'm talking to you now, I'm looking you right in the eye, and I'm not. I'm looking at the tip of your nose. Right, so for somebody with autism, I've shown them a way to combat that. So it will placate that ignorance, whilst also giving them a tool that doesn't make them feel pain, because it hurts, physically can hurt, and little things like that. It's just we're all neurodiverse, all myself, my staff, my wife, the volunteers, so we understand. Yeah, and I think that's our strength, is that we're all underdogs.
Yeah.
And it's not like we've learned through uni and we've got the life experiences between all of us.
Absolutely. This is a big thing with myself. Being in the ambulance game for 16 years, you've got people coming through now. School, uni, out in the street, no people skills. No disrespect to them, they're bloody good. But at the end of the day, that is life experience, life skills is more important.
And I also believe that adversity breeds compassion as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say quite happily that I've been through plenty of adversity, and most of our team are. And I think when you come out the other side, yourself as well, you will have had some kind of epiphany following your COVID situation, as awful as it was.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a blessing there that you've now got a greater understanding of your own mortality and the preciousness of, I might be wrong.
The way I look at things now, everyone knows this who knows me. Every day I wake up is a blessing for me now. Obviously, as I said before, I had issues when I was at school. First day at school, I was back home by 9:15. I wasn't having that, and so on. So, but yeah, I mean, the COVID episode is, I've got to be careful what I say, but the COVID episode has really turned my world upside down. So, yeah, but, as I say now, I'm blessed to be here every day. I've got a lovely partner who looks after me, good friends around me. And, that's what I always try and give back, my experiences, because it's very important.
Paying it forward.
Yeah.
Paying it forward. See, our epiphany was losing our daughter at the age of 12.
Exactly, yeah.
Greatest curse you can imagine, and I think it's it knocked us on our asses for 5 years, you know, and then obviously after that, it gives us a gift as well, and it's the gift of cutting out the bullshit. Where you see these teenagers moaning because they haven't got the latest iPhone and things like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of refocused ourselves on what really matters in life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Buddhist or anything, but if you break it down, there is a simplicity of the three, innit? Surround yourself with love, have a purpose, and seek peace of mind. Those three things together, really, everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
And tread lightly and don't go out of your way to piss people off, whatever. So I think I've probably sworn about 5 times.
It doesn't matter, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
But, this is life. This is what life's all about. Now, let's have a little bit of a chat about when we were talking about peer pressures and things like that. And I understand that, and I've experienced it with my daughters years ago. They'll go to school and they ain't got the new trainers, they ain't got this, they ain't got that, and everything else. And you've already addressed this, but it is very important nowadays. And then kids don't want to go to school because, they haven't got the latest gear. And, it's a hard time, isn't it? And then you did a lot of the filming in Clacton, Jaywick and everything else with the Morris men. Tell us a little bit about that, because that would have been a good experience down there.
So, Morris men is an incredible achievement. Probably the achievement that made me say I'm never going to make a feature film like that again because of the stress. Yeah, we basically took over Clacton for a month. Yeah, the old NHS building on Carnarvon Road. That was our 3-story building. That was our production base, and we were the last people to shoot on Walton Pier before they had their massive restructure and a refurb. So we've got that little piece of history now. Shooting in Jaywick was a funny one because that's an area that's stigmatised.
Yeah.
We spent 2 days filming in Jaywick. Oh my God, the support we had and rallying around and the opening their hearts to us, it was incredible, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's just another good example of looking at a community. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that's not a very good community. But the fact that it's a community and that community spirit, that's a thing of beauty. Now, I grew up in Ardley, in a little village in the 70s.
Yeah.
There was community. And I like to think there are communities around. But yeah, just seeing...
Jaywick is like its own little tribe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As I said to you previously, we used to go in and out of there, and it's every single road, every single people, they all know each other. Yeah, there's a problem, they will deal with that. it is a community. It's being built up a little bit now with the sunspot and everything else down there. But Clacton as a whole is, and Jaywick and so on, Walton, they're all different aspects. Walton's one, Jaywick, Clacton, they're all
Frinton.
Oh,
inside the gates.
Outside the gates, but it's not gates anymore. It's barriers.
Yeah. No, I've experienced that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like they used to say to us, where we're through the gates. Oh yes, we want. Really? Even Frinton's got its own issues, but they hide that away.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
But every little town, village, or whatever has its own problems. It has its own iniquity of what happens there, and so we're all the same.
But my view is, yet again, I don't care because I've built my community here.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big social life for us. Even when we haven't got projects on, my missus and I, should we go to the studio today and play? Yeah. So, because I miss community, and as a chef, I worked in pubs over the years.
Yeah.
And I think the majority of pubs, you're kind of locals. They're not. It's not kind of like a good social hub. I don't think. Possibly they serve their purpose, and this is where a lot of blokes will shoot me down. As a rule, you've got lots of blokes moaning about their missuses while they'd be lost without their missuses and things like that. Now that is, I probably stigmatise the whole male race there. I'm a bit of a feminist.
But what did I say just now? I've got my other half. Support. When they sit in the bar, and I go into a local pub sometimes every now and then, and I love it. And she's moaning again. Whatever. I do that because that's what they do. Is it because it's what people want to hear? Because I'm the big man. I don't know.
Possibly, maybe because then you're not going. It's the other thing you don't do in a pub is have in-depth, really deep conversations. That's the rule.
No.
So maybe in that respect, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to go to the pub from time to time.
Yeah.
But my wife is my best mate, and we love our rum.
Yeah,
and we'd rather watch a movie together at home, snuggled up under the duvet, drinking rum.
Yeah.
And I'll massage her feet for her and stuff, and that's enough for me with rum. And that's enough for me to get away with most things with my crazy shenanigans.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to have that.
But my wife has been my biggest supporter throughout all of this, and she always says, "Well, I hope you haven't been slacking me out, man." If there's one person I praise the most, that's Laura. Because she's been the backbone that's allowed me to do all this, while she's just been doing what's classed as the mundane, the wife and the mum stuff at home, and being my biggest supporter from day one.
Let's talk about important things like what would you be looking for from companies or organisations to help you on a sponsorship side, or how can they get involved and that sort of thing?
This is what we're thinking about all the time. This is what I go to bed thinking about every night. So, for example, a local company that might want to sponsor the barn. Yeah. So it could be obviously not that big sale, like stadium naming rights. Yeah. So it could be like the Colchester Borough Homes barn at Underdog Crew Studios.
Yeah.
Or the Panther Security Gallery or something like that. So maybe sponsoring each individual room.
Yeah.
And with that, then there's other opportunities to be involved and support our stuff. I don't know. What I know is what we're doing is so meaningful, and CSR is a big thing in companies now, isn't it? Corporate social responsibility.
Yep.
And and don't get me wrong, we're supported by a lot of companies, a lot of organisations. Our annual running costs, or our monthly running costs now, are huge because we've got this building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're always looking for any extra support.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, if like the van, for example, lots of companies paid. If you look at our amazing minibus, it's all branded up, vinyl wrapped.
Yeah.
Lots of companies paid, and they've got their advertising and support on our van.
Yeah. That
gave the kids this amazing minibus to go and do we went to Yarmouth, been to a film studio. We go out on day trips. That's from the lottery giving us the grant, and then Funky Fish doing us a deal on the vinyl wrap, and 5 different people paying for the wrap.
Yeah.
Anything like that we can do, like they could be supporting the Slip, for example, which is within episode 3, and then it could be right at the very front. Such and such presents the Slip. You know, so there's lots of ways that we can showcase the support we're getting from people.
Yeah, so it could be a small amount to a larger amount.
Yeah.
But people to get, you know, the responsibilities and stuff that you need to do.
Exactly. I think maybe it's probably a good thing of like if there was a company that was willing to sponsor it doesn't matter whether that's a pound or 1,000, that would say, okay, let's have a coffee, let's sit down. You know, this is an amount of money we might be able to consider. What could you do back in return?
Yeah.
And some companies will want very minimal, and others it's very nice, well balanced seesaw. So it could be having this amazing flooring. We've got $1,500 worth of flooring donated by Duramat in Missley.
Yeah.
You know, another company could be, okay, well let's put our massive great big logo on here. So like when we're doing the cooking show, there's branding opportunities, there's branding spaces, there's there's a lot really. It's just, you know, we can't afford the front signs to go on the building at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe a company want to support that, and it would be like powered by such and such.
Yeah.
So it's very small amounts that all add up to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the big lottery stuff for the Arts Council grants that we're aiming for in a year's time.
Yeah.
But in the medium time, I hate kind of asking. So I'd much rather try and find ways to make it a balanced thing. So, yeah, I don't know, just...
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question?
No, it's bringing in sponsorship, but an interest from a company or an organisation or individuals.
Yeah.
Individuals might be interested as well.
Product placement in the slip, acting roles, filming in front of their place to get their brand in it as well.
Yeah.
You know, are we going to get on terrestrial TV? I hope so.
Yes.
You know, Morris Men and my first movie, Blood Highway, they're on Amazon Prime and all the other ones. Morris Men's are now on Apple TV. Right. So we kind of got proof of the you know, we're making marketable products that with the eyes on, you know. So I like to think our profile's always growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think
it's growth is very important, but everything needs support, doesn't it? Whether it's from the parents, from the children, yourselves, whatever, it all comes down to supporting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's not public knowledge yet, but we're one of the mayor's chosen charities of Colchester for next year.
Oh, fantastic.
That's a huge accolade. So it hasn't been. So that's we're the current mayor. She loves us. We love her.
Yeah.
The new incoming mayor. We're one of his 5 charities for next year.
Fantastic.
So I hope that's going to help us with some profiling and some extra funding as well. But we've got some really good advisors working around us. I take care with my team of the day-to-day journey, which is having fun and projecting that fun and passion into the kids.
Yeah.
They take care of the journey and the destination.
Yeah.
You know, and it's an exciting journey.
Yeah.
You know, and no 2 days are the same, and we're happy. And we never thought, my little and I, we thought after losing a daughter, the best we could hope for is to be content.
Yeah.
We are actually happy, and this is where we're meant to be. Everything I've been through in my past was leading up to this, and you know, and it's kind of
it's the journey of life.
Yeah.
Everyone, it is a journey,
and this will carry on long after I do. And I'm hoping we're building a legacy, and somebody's going to continue to grow, and that's lovely.
One of my favourite songs is by Francis Nero called "Footsteps Following Me," and this is how people could review. They're following what you're doing. They're bringing their world into your world. That's exactly it. Like when I'm doing my radio shows and things like that, you're relying on your audience and the things. And obviously I had people come in and speak about you previously on the radio, and that was amazing, and I knew you were all sitting where you were at the time, listening in and so on. And I believe in supporting people like yourselves, because you need that input, and what you're doing is absolutely amazing. So what's coming up next for the Underdog?
Hopefully a nice chilled out Christmas, a nice chilled out December, because we have been put to the floor for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Every day getting this place ready. We've just finished filming episode 3 of The Slip. So that's going to take me a little bit of editing now to get that episode ready.
Yeah.
Then we're looking at a big public screening next year somewhere in Colchester. The last one, we packed out the Arts Centre on a cold autumn evening last year.
Yeah.
Showed off one of our episodes. Then we're going to be doing something really funky with this vehicle as an ongoing project. And maybe month by month, bit by bit, we're going to make a little zombie apocalypse feature film in the surrounding areas of this. So
yes,
yeah, so lots coming up, but I think the next month is kind of chill out time.
I've got to get my walking.
Yeah, got to get it going on. Yeah. And failing that, we'll do your makeup and we'll have your face hanging off or whatever.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's what's coming up really. Yeah, just winging it, having fun. Every day's a new day.
Every day's a new day. Every day, like I say, is a blessing. So yeah, is there anything else you want to add before we sort of wrap up? And
see, I don't know really. I think I hate saying we need support.
Yes,
but we need support. But then I thought when I started this, me and my wife, we started this journey 10 years ago, self-funding it. The Underdog Crew is this little kernel of an idea that's grown into now being a CIC, not-for-profit. I thought there were loads of places like this. There really aren't. Yeah, and for us, 4 or 5 times now, we've had a mum crying, thanking us for giving us their happy child back.
Fantastic, yeah.
That says everything. You know, and I think any support that we don't have to worry about, are we going to be able to afford to go into next month? That's kind of where we're at. Yeah. So just any support people want to give us. We've got a Patreon on the website. It's a link. People can donate anything, £1 a month up to whatever they want to. Yeah. Yeah, and we're going to have a fundraiser in the spring as well, which is going to be like a falconry display where people bring down like the reptile experience, and that's going to be our first big fundraiser.
Right, okay.
So,
and then you've got the fairs coming up.
Yeah, you've got a couple of Christmas markets coming up.
Where can people meet up with you there?
Colchester High Street one and the Mercury Theatre. I think the Mercury one's on the 8th. I might be wrong, but if you just put in Colchester Christmas markets, there's one at the Mercury and one on the High Street. Okay. And that's where you can find some of our amazing stuff that we've sourced and given the Underdog Crew flair, and some of the stuff that our members have been making from scratch as well. Yeah, okay, brilliant. Yeah. And a few bits to buy as well. Yeah, a few bits to buy, some really cool stuff to buy. Obviously, if there's any record collectors, as you see as you came in, we've got our record wall. Yeah, any record collectors ever want to pop down by invitation, have a look at some of the stuff, you know, because we're always seeking to build that as well. Yeah. You know, because why not? Absolutely, yeah. No, you've done really well with what you've got. And of course, a little tea room starting in the spring, which is going to be scones. We want to aim to make the best scones in the area. Yeah. Yeah, and then that will be kind of an open where lots of local craftspeople. I want it to be a creative hub on a weekend where they come and hang out, use the workshop. They can have their own galleries. Yeah, they can 5 metre yurt set up in the gravel courtyard, have a little exhibition. You know, their guests come along, they're paid to come in, you know, so lots of things that we're kind of looking at to test that kind of income without kind of diluting the joy of what we're really doing, which is moving you along each month. So exactly. So once you've done the Christmas fairs, then you'll chill out for Christmas. Yeah. And hopefully me and the miss are going to go to do you know Belster Brook Spa in Ipswich? No. We go there when we can. Hopefully next week we're going to get to go and spend a night there where we'll be chilling, but I'll also be writing episode 4 of The Slip because it never stops. So then we're now in pre-production of episode 4 of The Slip. Fantastic. So busy, but it's not work. I was a chef, mate. That was work. Yeah. This is soul healing. It's just therapy, craft, and creativity. Amazing. You and your organisation. Fantastic. Thank you, Nigel. And I'm really, really looking forward to doing this again with you for your next stage. And we'll stay in touch, and we'll do what we can, and obviously promote yourselves and do what we can. Thank you, mate. You're top. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Spread the word. Underdogcrew.org. Yeah, that's the website. Really nice and simple. Yeah. Come and have a brew with us. Come and see what it's at. Yeah, get in touch with them and come down and see them, and always make you welcome.
Definitely. I'm just thinking about someone to do a radio interview for you. Okay.
That's fine. And obviously the biggest thing is thanking all our sponsors and supporters that have made us where we are today.
Yeah.
Like Panther Security, Duramat, House Grey, that donated all the woodwork that we needed for these amazing things, and several other local companies that have proper rallied round.
Yeah.
There's about 25 grand's worth of infrastructure gone in here, and all donated by local companies that believe in what we're doing.
Yeah.
So that's always my biggest. Without our supporters,
Yeah.
we'd have nothing.
Yeah.
And obviously without my wife, I'd be nothing. So I've learned to remember to be nice, to always remember.
Always.
Yeah.
Always, definitely.
Yeah. But no, our supporters, our funders and our backers, we'd be nothing without them. And the guidance that we've got makes this real and makes it happen, and that's, that's the important thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Top man. Cheers.
Thank you very much.